Everybody good to go? All right, great. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Corporal Destiny Silva with the Austin Police Department Public Information Office, and I am joined by Travis County EMS Captain Krista Stedman, and we are here today just to provide some safety tips for the upcoming Spring Festival. APD and EMS are taking proactive measures to ensure our community's safety. Both of our agencies will have staff in and around the area of the festival, and we're here to help. We just want to encourage our Austin community and festival goers to remember some very important safety tips. Be aware of your surroundings. We anticipate with the upcoming festival that we are going to have a large amount of vehicular traffic and pedestrians in and around the downtown area. So if you plan on traveling to the downtown area, pack your patience. Plan your route. Just expect longer travel times and wait times. And if you do arrive at the festival or anywhere near the festival, know your location. Pay attention to street signs and addresses. If you are inside a location, know the name of the location. Know the exits in the area. If you need help, first responders need to be able to find you. So again, paying attention to your surroundings is paramount in keeping yourself safe. Know that we are here to help. Know that if an incident is ongoing and there is an active safety threat, to please call 911 immediately. Do not hesitate. We are going to be working inside the festival, outside the festival. Our law enforcement partners, as well as our medical professionals, will be there. We are here to help you. Please don't hesitate to call 911. Now, if there's not an ongoing threat, if an incident already happened, then you can utilize our non-emergency line. You can call 311, or you can use iReport Austin. So that way you can document that something did happen. And also, don't take anything that you don't know where it came from. This could be alcohol, this could be any type of pills, anything like that. Please do not take anything that you don't know where it came from. You could be taking something that could potentially be lethal to you or cause some kind of medical emergency. So again, be mindful. And if you are going to consume alcohol, have a safe plan to get home. Be with a trusted group of individuals. If you do need assistance, they will be there to help you. But again, it's really difficult if you drink a lot of alcohol or consume any type of substances to be aware of your surroundings, which again is paramount to keeping you and everyone safe. We will have officers that are working throughout the festival area, again, in and around the areas. We are going to be there to identify and disrupt any type of illegal activity. So please know we are working really hard with all the resources that we have available to keep everybody safe. And we're making sure that we will continue to collaborate with all the first responders, our law enforcement partners, and again, our medical professionals to help keep everybody safe. So I'm going to turn over some safety tips to Captain Stedman.
Thank you, Corporal Silva. As she said, I am Captain Krista Stedman with Austin Travis County EMS's Public Information Office. So just like Corporal Silva indicated, we have all been planning for this event for months, right? This is not the first time that we're doing this. We sort of have it down to a science. So Austin Travis County EMS has a very specific Spring Festival staffing plan. We stand up additional ambulances. We stand up SRUs, which is essentially two paramedics on like an ATV type vehicle that's capable of carrying a stretcher. We've set up what we call a patient collection point, and that's basically a field hospital that we stand up within the footprint. So during the Spring Festival season, we sort of treat it like a city within a city, right? So we geofence the location. It's the downtown entertainment district, and anything that happens within that geofence is handled specifically by our special events medics that are out on all of those extra units. And the reason that we do this is so that we don't impact the 911 system, because we want to keep the 911 system flowing just like it normally does, but we want to have those dedicated response resources for anybody that needs help. So just general safety tips. I'm sure I'm probably going to say some that Corporal Silva said, but like she was saying, know where you are. If you need help, that's not the time to be messing around in your, Apple Maps and trying to figure out where you are. One of the things that we tell people, especially when you're going to be in a big crowded area and you may not be familiar with the location, is to download the What 3 Words app. The What 3 Words app is a free mobile app. And it basically narrows down your location to a 10 by 10 foot square. So it's really, really helpful for first responders to have those 3 words. And basically each one of these squares all over the entire world has 3 different words associated with it. So, you know, right here where we're standing could be spring festival and event, and 10 feet that way would be 3 different words. So it's super helpful when we're trying to narrow down, especially in a big crowd, where somebody is. So we certainly recommend that everybody downloads that app before they go and enjoy the festival. It's also super useful for just finding each other. If you're split apart from your group of friends, you can just pull up those what 3 words and it'll basically take you directly to them. We want people to pay attention to the weather. It's supposed to be fairly nice, but there are definitely going to be visitors that aren't necessarily used to the Texas weather and how quickly it can change. So you want to make sure you're still doing things like hydrating before you go out, eating full meals. It's not supposed to be super sunny, but if the sun comes out, wear sunscreen if you're not accustomed to the Texas sun. Certainly, as Corporal Silva mentioned, limit the use of alcohol, don't drink and drive, do things like ride shares, use a shuttle, keep your phone charged, make sure that you're attending in a group as opposed to by yourself. And when you're leaving, tell the people that you're leaving behind when you're supposed to be back. So they know if I'm not back by midnight and it's now 3 a.m. that something's wrong and they can take some steps that they need to. Like Corporal Silva said, be aware of your surroundings. If you see something, say something. We certainly want to try to get out ahead of any possible threat. So we need everybody to have eyes. Talked about what 3 words. So like Corporal said, if you're consuming any substances, do so with extreme caution. I know that every time we have a festival or a large event, the question always comes up about overdoses. We know that we have sort of a national opiate crisis. So one of the things that we wanted to emphasize to everybody is you should never be using a substance that is not dispensed from a licensed pharmacy and prescribed to you. Outside of that, you have no idea what's in these substances. Austin Travis County EMS in the last couple of months has seen a fairly dramatic increase in overdoses that people have taken a substance they did not think was an opiate, and it turns out to be an opiate. So, and I'm not talking about Xanax or an Adderall or something that's aftermarket mislabeled. I'm talking about people buying things like cocaine or PCP, and it's actually just full of opiates and they wind up overdosing. So if you're going to use any substance, do so with caution. Make sure you're using in groups. Make sure Narcan is available just in case. You should just assume that anything that you get off the street is probably going to have some sort of opiate in it. Because we've seen a dramatic increase. That being said, we actually typically see a spike in overdoses during the spring season, and we haven't seen that yet, which is really great, and we want to keep on that track. So making sure that if you're going to use, you're not doing it alone, and that you have Narcan available is super important. I think that's about all I got.
Does anybody have any questions?
Are you concerned about any response time delays, especially with the shortage of 911 call takers?
Is that for the police department or for the police department? So I can't speak to the staffing for 911 communications, but what I can tell you is that as far as our staffing, we do have staffing challenges. However, we are going to utilize every resource that we have available to us to make sure our community is safe during this spring festival.
Are you all doing anything differently this year that y'all haven't done in previous years when it comes to like safety operations?
As far as for the police department, we do have plans in place and we are taking proactive measures and we are prepared to act on those plans if necessary, but we're not able to provide the operational level details of those plans. But know that we are out here. We have planned for this. This isn't our first spring festival. This isn't going to be our last. So we are here to keep everyone safe.
And for EMS, if somebody doesn't have that app, how do you find someone who's in the middle of a packed crowd?
Sure. So the next best thing would be to identify landmarks around you, right? So if you're at 6th and Netchess and maybe you can't see the intersection street sign, look for a bar name or some sort of landmark that you can relay to the 911 call taker that gives you a better idea. Like Corporal Silva was mentioning, and I mentioned earlier, We beef up staffing for these events. So it's pretty unlikely that you're going to be somewhere downtown and you're not going to see some kind of uniform. So worst case scenario, grab one of them for help.
And then for APD, are there going to be barricades on streets, like on 6th Street or anything like that?
Yes, there will be multiple road closures. So again, plan your route ahead of time. You can get online. There's a lot of interactive maps, Google Maps or Waze, all of those things. My understanding, they will have those road closures available too. You can also go to the city's website, austintexas.gov. They'll have interactive maps and more information on the Spring Festival as well. So plan ahead of time, but please know that at those barricades, you will see officers. You might see, again, our EMS, our medical professionals, or AFD. There will be plenty of uniforms there at the Spring Festival, and we are here to help, so please don't hesitate to flag us down, reach out to us, and just know that we'll be there for your safety.
In regards to ride-sharing safety, can you touch on how people can be mindful when getting into a ride-sharing car?
Absolutely. If you're going to use rideshare as an option, what you can do, dependent on the app that you're going to utilize, most of them do have a photo of the driver or the license plate. Make sure that those two things match up before you get into a vehicle. Also, there's different rideshare companies that have different certifications, so kind of plan in advance what rideshare company you're going to use. And I would also advise to go with large groups. And then again, if you are downtown and you can let somebody else know, hey, we're leaving downtown, I'm going to be home at this time as well. And a lot of those apps too, if you ever feel like unsafe or uncomfortable, they have those emergency precautionary measures in place where you can notify them right away. Or at any time, if you just don't feel comfortable or safe, don't get in the vehicle. Call a friend. Get another ride share. Walk to a safe location. If you feel like something's happening or it's an ongoing threat, then call 911 immediately and let our officers go out there. Ultimately, we just want you to be safe. So just keep those things in mind when you are using a ride share. Anything else? Thank you all.